Well, hello. You guys might have seen me away from my camera, but that is a-okay. Hello, hello. Hope everyone's having a fantastic start to their Saturday. I've got to do a little bit of just desk work. Oop, that's the first part, is making sure that this doesn't come through. All right. Oh, I'm so excited. Who we got in the chat? We've got Jackie and Elizabeth. Hello, friends. Thank you for being here. I had to quickly add something to the chat, and I was using my laptop for that, and I had to go run over to my table to do it. But that is a-okay. My goodness. All right. Well, hello, friends. We're gonna just pop really quickly over to my Google Chrome window. And it looks like I'm there. That's exactly what I wanted. All right. Hello, Mary. Thanks for being here. We've got Oregon and Texas and Arizona. Absolutely fantastic. We've got a lot of fun planned today, and I do have, of course, a special offer to share with you guys, which I will get to shortly. Hello, Denise, and we've got Florna. Thanks for being here. And I think I'm realizing I might have left my water cup. So here it comes, my non-official assistant. Thank you very much. All right, we got the water. We're good to go. I did remember to fill it, though. It's always a last-minute rush to get everything all taken care of for a live, but that is a-okay. Hello, Emily. Oh, well, I'm glad that you have a little bit of entertainment here while you recover from surgery, get all of that inspiration in before you can go back to sit at your craft desk. Absolutely. Well, hello, friends. You are all so wonderful for being here. It has been, even though it was the week of a holiday and I had one less work day this week, I tell you, it felt like a long week. So I am happy to be here and crafting back to our regularly scheduled time. We've got a really fun live today. We're going to be playing with florals. I was scrolling through. This is our 13th live stream together. I've been counting just because I take each and individual live stream as like another sort of milestone occasion. And I've been going back and I want to try to make sure everything that we're doing, that I'm not like repeating things that are too similar. Which I'll talk about that in a little bit too, because one of my color choices that I had to lean away from goes into that. But regardless, I was going through the different live streams that we've done together, and I was like, have I done florals before? And not as die cuts. We have done florals, I saw once before, as stamps. And that was one of like my first 3 or 4, I think my 4th live stream maybe. It was the Petals and Purrs release from Catherine Pooler, and I think that was March? Is it February or March? I'm thinking March though. But regardless, hey, we got Gretchen here. Thanks for being here, Gretchen. Welcome to your very first live stream. I am so glad to have you here. And Mary, I'm in my diva den packing up so I can repaint and reorganize. Mary, that sounds like quite a task, and I wish you all the luck. Thanks for being here while you have your project underway. All right, friends. So I want to talk a little bit about Altenew and about my recent relationship with Altenew. If you've been following me on social media, you'll have seen that for the past couple months, I have been sharing posts with Altenew because I am a brand ambassador for Altenew. So that means that I have a couple projects that I share throughout the month, and I have a couple opportunities just to really engage with my audience and showcase some of my favorite Altenew products. Also be able to really go in and interact with people who are already huge fans of Altenew and show them kind of my spin on how to create different things. So I'm really excited to be creating with everybody today and kind of leaning into some new florals, since that's not something that I do too often. So let's go ahead, let's flip to our bottom screen so you can see my mat, and we're going to talk about the products that we're going to use. So switching over, I have pulled one of the most recent sets, and this is the new Grand Dahlia layering die set, and it is part of their Craft a Flower collection. This to me is like one of my absolute ultimate crafting products, especially when it comes to floral, is this collection of product, because Altenew makes it so easy to put your flowers together. I mean, this looks like a really sort of intricate and kind of wild die set. And Altenew does such a good job making it approachable and making it so anybody can do it. And I love that. They have some of my favorite packaging on the market because Altenew is probably one of the few companies that, because I'm someone who often sort of reorganizes and like puts my product into pockets. And I kind of toss away some of my packaging and just kind of make everything the same. Altenew is one of the few companies that I keep the packaging for because of what they include with it. And let's talk about that for a second. Because a lot of times I feel like there's product out there and it's easily like the acetate will rip and like you kind of have to find new homes for it anyway. But Altenew, with most of like their die sets like this, they actually send it to you and it's part of a folder. And it's got the die set in here, which is on a piece of acetate. And it actually has little outlines for all of the different die cuts, which I think is so clever. It's also because it's on a piece of acetate and it's not on a piece of like paper like this, it doesn't rip. So you don't have to worry about like having to put down new tape runner, having to find a new backer piece. This is all together and it's like you really got to work with this product quite a bit to wear down that adhesive to a point that it would have to be replaced. I'm not going to say it's going to last forever. Rarely it does with anything when we're creating, but this is built to last. On top of it, they give you this folder, which is already really nicely coated. It's not just like a standard piece of paper. It definitely has like a coating on it. I don't know if you can hear, but there's definitely like just by my fingers touching it, you can kind of hear how the paper sounds and it's a little different than a standard piece. And they give you all the instructions for how to put the product together. They explain the keyholes, how everything gets layered, what it should look like, and it makes it super simple. They also come up with a couple ideas on the back for how you can use this set to make fun projects. And they're just kind of easy and simple layouts, but really kind of get those creative juices going so that you can jump into it and have fun. And I think that that's the main point of creating. So we are going to play around with this new Grand Dahlia layering set. Now, this is the newest of the Craft a Flower collection. If I'm not mistaken, Altenew does a monthly series of their Craft a Flower, and there's usually one new one every month. I know there's a new one that's releasing in a couple days. So as we create with this, and if you're inspired at all by this Craft a Flower collection, maybe there's one you've been eyeing, maybe you're brand new to the series, I do have a special promo code today for 10% off the Craft a Flower collection. And that is, you can use code JustinFlower to get 10% off the Craft a Flower collection using that promo code. I have all of the products linked in the description today, along with pinned to our chat. I have a quick blog post that you can go to as well that sort of explains everything. But this blog post is, of course, going to always be there, but the promo code itself is only valid through June 1st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. So if this is something that you guys are interested in, definitely jump on it. It's a fantastic deal. It can't be combined with any other offers, but it is definitely something that you can take advantage of. And what we're going to do today is put a card together using that Grand Dahlia die set and a couple other things as well. So what we're going to start with is I do have both of the flowers die cut in separate stack and sort trays, but we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. And today's live stream, I really want to talk about how to make your florals pop. So I'm getting out my stamp wheel. Now, this is the first stamp wheel. This isn't the second one. There's the 2.0. That's the larger one that you can, we're going to take this off real quickly. Now, the 2.0 is the larger one that you're able to remove one of the sides for your longer stamps or longer papers. But I don't need that today. I do have both of them. And I just figured this one will take up a little less space on my craft mat. You can buy the original or the 2.0, whatever works for you. And I just want to use it as a grip mat today. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the different flowers and just sort of lay them out. I'm going to try my best to layer them in order. And what I also want to talk about, the Craft a Flower dies are part of the keyhole system with Altenew. Oh my goodness, Nancy. Late, no big deal at all. Just glad you're here and glad you made it. And if you got to leave, then this goes to anyone. You can always catch the replay. So for this, if you can see, all of these die cuts have little keyholes. This one got a little frayed and I didn't want to re-die cut it, but that's okay. And all of these triangles are going to line up to build our Grand Dahlia flower. And I just think it is so easy to put everything together. And it's really hard to see on camera. Let's see. Do you see right next to the triangle to the right, there's an etched one? And that's really important because each of the layers is etched with the number that it is, because that's the order you're supposed to stack them. One is going to go on the bottom, two goes on top, and then keep on counting. So I'm going to try to layer these in order best that I can, and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending. Now, this is Lemon Drop cardstock. I have it linked down below. We're going to blend it with some fresh dye inks. And I decided to kind of lean into one of my favorite color collections, just that I like to call, and that is citrus colors. And citrus colors are kind of one end of the color wheel that skips red. It's pinks, oranges, yellows, and greens. And just kind of think of all the different colors that citrus fruits come in. That's kind of what I'm working with here. So what we're going to do is I've got all of the yellow floral pieces all laid down, and let's get into just a little bit of ink blending. So what we're going to start with, I believe we're going to start with some golden honeycomb. And I am going to take, let's take this brush, just a mini blending brush, and just sort of take that golden honeycomb color and see if I might need to go a shade darker. But I really don't want to go that dark. And actually, now that I'm building this up, this looks pretty good. I have the 2.0 was gifted the original. Do I need both, or will the 2.0 do everything? You know what, Jackie? I'm pretty sure the 2.0 will do everything. It's the bigger one. But some people, just like some people when it comes to like the Misti platform, some people like the original, some people like the scrapbook, some people like the mini size. It depends on what you like to have. If it's a product that you think you're going to bring with you for like creating with friends or traveling with, you may be interested in the smaller size, but really size is the only difference of features that you don't currently have. The 2.0 has that removable side, so you're really able to expand your workplace and stamp out larger images if you would like. And then it also has that larger platform to accommodate for larger papers. So we're just going to kind of go in, blend this all up. Now, if you have any questions, of course, put them in the comments. I'm here to help. And I'm just so happy to see some new friends here, see some existing friends. Just have a really fun crafting time today. I'm so excited. I really enjoy my Saturday live streams with everyone. Like I was saying, I can't believe we're already at 13 of them. We're going to call it lucky number 13. We're not going to believe and channel that bad juju of bad luck. Not at all. So just kind of keep on going with this. This is Golden Honeycomb, a fresh dye ink. I really do like how Altenew does their colors as well. They typically, most of their inks are released in 4 colors, and they kind of go from lightest to darkest, meant to kind of use together. And it's really a great way to sort of build out a collection. Just kind of keep going. I know I kind of keep going back and forth. I just want to make sure that we've got that good orangey color that's forming from this golden honeycomb. Oh, Nancy, you are so sweet. Thank you for being here, friend. All right, so just kind of keep going in. All righty. Just go to that. See how that golden honeycomb color is really sort of amplifying the orangey color when we're layering it on top of that lemon drop cardstock? I think it works really nicely. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put that golden honeycomb away. I'm determining whether or not I want to come back to it. We might to do a little bit, but I'm not worried about it right now, because what we're going to go in next with is some of this blush rose ink. And let's see. Let's use, is this pink? That looks more red to me. I don't know. What are we doing, Justin? Let's go in with this. All right, so this is Blush Rose, and I am gonna go in and blend this in the center as well. And this is gonna really add some fun pink to our die cut. Now, I do my research as best as possible. And hello, T. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry, I'm just noticing the camera's kind of, because we're dealing with different dimensions and depths, that's kind of going in and out. So I apologize about the refocusing. I hope the storms pass for you. All right, so we're just going to kind of keep going in. Most of these should be okay with this larger brush. Now, I am using this Blush Rose, but you can see with it being layered with that golden honeycomb, it's a little on the redder side. That's totally okay with me. Going back to what I was saying, I did do my research. I don't have a very talented plant affinity. Let me just say it. I don't have a green thumb. So I'm not great at identifying flowers just by their name. My favorites, I like daisies. So like I know, I always kind of know that daisies are a flower that you can kind of have fun with a bunch of different colors. I've always enjoyed like Black Eye Susans as well. And those basically kind of, they're like a cross between, now when I say my third flower, they're all kind of like the same thing because I also like sunflowers. There is a beautiful sunflower flower that I just got as well. So I got to play with that sometime soon. But what I'm saying is, I feel like a Black-Eyed Susan is like if you combine a daisy and a sunflower together. That's kind of my thoughts. So thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness, you guys are so kind. Let's see, let's zoom in just a little more. Maybe that'll help refocus things. I don't like seeing my camera having to refocus like that. So I don't know why it's doing that. I'm actually in the process of trying to upgrade some of my tech, and I'm hoping to get maybe a new lens sometime soon. So we'll see. All right, let's just kind of go and add that in. This one's a little bit of a smaller brush. So we'll go just like that. Okay, so I've got that. So we've got Blush Rose, Golden Honeycomb. This is gonna look really, really pretty all layered together. But I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna go in with a little bit of this Golden Honeycomb color and add it to the outside of the flowers as well. And this is just gonna really kind of amp up that dimension. And like I said, today's live stream is all about making your florals pop. And we're just really going to lean into making this pop with color. So I'm just going to kind of go in, do each of these little points, blend a little bit with that golden honeycomb, and it's just going to make these final flowers just absolutely stunning. All right, so we got this. Just kind of keep going in. So let me know in the comments. I was telling you guys about my favorite flowers. What's your favorite? Whether it be flowers you may get from like in an arrangement, flowers like that you would like to include in your yard or in your pots, whatever may work, or just maybe you went on vacation and you just fell in love with a specific plant that you saw that's not native to where you are at home. One of my dreams is, so we went to Japan back in August, and it was a whirlwind vacation. When I mean whirlwind, we did so many things and missed so much just because we were only there for a set period of time. So I want to go back, but I particularly want to go back in the April period when they're known for the cherry blossoms blooming, just because I think that would be really pretty to see. So that's something that I would love to see at some point. Peonies, sunflowers and morning glory, irises. You guys all have great taste with flowers. They're all so pretty. My husband loves lilac, particularly the smell. He has childhood memories of that. So like that always gets him like really happy to see. So it's, we all have our own little preferences, you know? So I'm going to take all of these and put these off. We're going to put these together in a little bit. We've got a lot of ink blending to do together today. That's going to kind of be the bulk of our time together, but we have a lot of fun card making stuff to do regardless. So I'm going to kind of take all this off. My husband says I have a black thumb with real plants. This are my type of favorite flowers. Absolutely, Elizabeth. And then Mary loves gardenias. Such great choices, friends. Such great choices. All right, now what we're going to do is we've got these little layers. I don't have to blend that one up, but I have to blend up a little bit of this, like the seed pod section. And listen, I don't know the names of some of this stuff, so please forgive me with using wrong names when it comes to plants. I try my best. I've already been very forthcoming that I don't have the greenest of thumbs, so, but that's okay. Oh, I love tulips and hydrangeas too, and of course daisies, I've already said. We actually have a couple hydrangea plants in our yard, so I always get really excited when they start to get big this time of year. And then of course they'll bloom. So what I'm doing right now is I've got a little bit of Applemint cardstock that I'm blending with Shadow Creek fresh dye ink. So I'm just going to kind of go in and just add a little bit of shading to that. Let's add that over there. And that's going to get really covered up in a little bit. And then the last color that we're going to use for this part is Raspberry Sunset. Get that. All right. Just kind of go in, just kind of go around the outside. Just like that. All right, friends. Oh my goodness, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I really wanted to lean into those citrus colors, and I really thought it would be something that we'd all appreciate seeing together. So I'd love to hear that you guys are enjoying these colors. I am too. Of course I am because I picked them, but I wanted to just do something bright and colorful. But one of the colors that I always have realized I kind of crutch on is aqua. And I was going to do an aqua background because I thought it would be really pretty, but then I realized going through my live streams, for the past 2 or 3 lives, I've used a light blue background, and I'm like, we need to freshen this up. We're not going to do anything blue today, and that is a-okay. So, all right, let's go in. Oh, I'm just realizing I didn't grab my sprayer. Here, we'll grab that right here, and we'll just do a quick little clean. And how about we put this together and then we do our next set of flowers. Oops, sorry about the squeaks. We'll set this aside to dry, but let's do that. And grab my, and I'm realizing I got to grab my glue press as well. That's right here. I see it. At least it's an arm shot. There we go. And now how this works is you want to layer all of these in numerical order. So what we're going to do is just do a little bit of adhesive just at this bottom part. And this is layer 1. And then I am going to take layer 2 and I'm going to layer it directly on top, the best that I can. Line it all up. And it's just going to really start to layer beautifully. So we're going to take liquid adhesive around the center, and then we're going to take our third layer. And it's just going to lay right on top, just like that. And it's going to start to build this super pretty dahlia with all of the colors that we used. Oh my goodness, I'm loving this so much. Perfect. All right, see, it's really beginning to add up. Oh my goodness. Tea roses, that sounds beautiful. I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but they sound like, roses are just gorgeous in general, you know? So I'm always just a little bit of a fan. All right, next, so that was number 4. We're gonna put on number 5, just like that. And then finish this up with layer number 6. Now, isn't this easy to put together? We're literally just stacking and layering. And it looks like this would take forever to put together. It really does. If this was a die set that didn't come with instructions, I would be so intimidated because this is not within my usual comfort zone of things. But as you can see, 6 layers right now, really sweet in terms of how to layer them. But now we just got to do the top of the flower as well. The little seed center, whatever you want to call it. I agree, Florna. It really is a genius system. I love using it. And they don't just use it with flowers. They use it with a lot of different dyes. If you go on my channel, you'll actually see that I've used it with a handful of dyes already. I did was the Elephant-tastic die set. I have another video that definitely uses them and explains the keyhole system there as well. So, all right, so let's kind of go in to this little green layer, just like that. And then we're going to add in this next layer, just sort of liquid adhesive around the outside. Just like that. Just sort of layer it all up. And then let's grab some tweezers because this next layer is a little intricate. Isn't it pretty? And it really comes together easily. There's not too many intricate pieces. Now, these center portions, I get it. They are a little tricky to keep track of, but also this is like the first time that I'm pulling in tweezers. We're just going to line this up right on top, just like that. And see how we've got these beautiful layers that make this super pretty dahlia flower. And from what I've seen people do with it, you can kind of burnish the petals if you want it to sort of curve a little bit. It's not usually what I do. And that's okay. We all have our own little styles, but I just think that this is super pretty. Now, this is just one flower. We have so much more to do. Not in a way that like should sound overwhelming, but so much more that it's going to be really exciting what we come up with. So I'm going to set that off to the side and we can work on our second flower and sort of talk our way through it because we're going to use the exact same colors. So we kind of know what to expect already. So let me go in. Let's swap out our trays. There we go. I'm just going to kind of put these in order because it helps me keep track of them. Let's see. Well, that one's got one little hole that's got to get punched out that I didn't. Well, that's okay. Let's see. There, did that do it? No. There we go. All right, so we've got 1 and then 2. This is going to be a smaller dahlia flower. It's really a great set. And like I said, my promo code of Justin Flower will save you 10% off this set. Now, one thing just to be careful about, there are multiple options in terms of how you can purchase the Craft-A-Flowers. You can either buy them individually or you can buy them as part of a monthly subscription. And the monthly subscription you do save even more money on, but you do set up a recurring charge with them. So just keep that in mind. I'm imagining most of us probably don't want to do that. Now I'm looking at this right now and realizing that I probably did the wrong color for one of these. So we might have to go in and re-die cut something, but when we get there, we'll get there. So let's go in. We've got this all lined up. Hello, Barbara. Thanks for being here. Always exciting to see friends. All right, so we're just gonna kind of keep going. I'm gonna go back in with this golden honeycomb and just sort of blend from the center out. And I'm trying to get, this is definitely a lighter orange, so I'm really trying to build up that color. Center out. Just like that. Center out. All right. Now the center portion of this flower is a little different than what we were working with already. And I'm realizing I probably should have done it a little differently than I did. And that's okay. So we can fix that. I've got my die cutting machine and I can see my die cutting plates. So we are all good here. And I think some of these might require different blending brushes just because they change in size, but that's okay. And then let's go in with our blush rose and start blending our next layer. All right. So we're going to take our mini blending brush, just sort of going like that. All right. I agree, Barbara. Add a little bit to zhuzh them up. Always. I really think it's one of the ways that help make your florals pop is by layering colors. Another way, it just takes a little bit of extra time, but if you've got it, it's so stunning, is to alcohol marker color your floral die cuts. Because they just, it captures all of that amazing texture. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, I know a couple of you had said that this is your first time joining. Make sure to like and subscribe. I go live every Saturday, at least I try to. And then we try to go live at 1 p.m. Sometimes I've got to change the time, but that's okay. But I play around with a handful of my favorite brands, show you guys some new inspiration, also show you some new product when it's available. We have a good time. I know that my friends who are here regularly, we always have fun and we have good conversations, and I just appreciate y'all being here. And while I'm talking about appreciating you all, I hit a very fun mile marker this week, and that is that my YouTube channel has officially become monetized. And what that basically means is that I've had enough interaction from what YouTube has studied with their analytics that I qualify for basically ads to be placed on my channel, which then generate revenue, which I don't, this is my first time it's ever happened. So it's so exciting. And I really wanted to just thank everybody who has helped me by watching my lives and my videos and by subscribing, because every one of you have played a role in that. And I'm so greatly appreciative. It's just so interesting and fun to watch how things in the industry sort of change, and how I've been able to just sort of grow my followers, and I appreciate you all for sticking around with me, because you're part of the experience too. So thank you very much. All right, so I've got my flowers. We got to do one little bit of die cutting. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you for your congratulations, but it truly is something that I share in with you all as well. All right, so I'm going to let me grab a piece of this lemon drop cardstock. Actually, I'm going to just grab my negative. And then we're also going to grab the dies from the Grand Dahlia set. Oh, you are all so very sweet. This has been really, truly a passion project. I have been, and I know some of us have been in the industry a lot longer, but every bit I feel is greatly like part of everyone's journey. And I've been doing this now since I've been documenting things on Instagram since 2018. So 8 years, and every year has brought new opportunities and new products to play with and new relationships. And I'm just so very grateful for every single milestone and for everyone who's a part of it. So thank you so much. All right, so let's go in. I'm going to grab, well, we got a little bit of drama with something falling off, but that's okay. Never done that before. But we are good. Just a little bit of a boom boom. But we are all set. Just my die cutting machine kind of slipped out of my hand. All right, we're going to die cut this off camera a little bit. You're not going to see all of it. All right, I also dropped an ink pad, so I don't want to get ink all over my foot. So we're going to go ahead, just get a quick little, this all taken care of. All right. We'll come back to this in a little bit. Yeah, this handle has been a little bit of a problem for me lately. That's okay. Just figure that out one step at a time. Pull this a little bit closer. Just makes it a little hard to work with. All right, we'll fix that later. Woo! The fun of a live stream, right? Always something. Do I plan to come out with products of your own? There's nothing officially in the pipeline, but it is something I think about. Probably not my own company of sorts, but it'd be fun to have a product line, you know? So I think about like, what would Justin do? What would be fun? And I don't really have a firm determination of what that would be, but it would be something full of color opportunities. So it would definitely be something that you could lean into with lots of different colors. And I think that it would obviously be fun. So stay tuned. My followers, of course, would be the first to know. So you never know. All right, so we're just going to kind of go in with a little bit more of this golden honeycomb. Just like that. Do a little bit of oh, you're so kind, Nancy. Thank you. All right, just kind of go like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to do my other keyhole dies that we got an ink blend. Oh, I tell you, that little bit of just startling about my die cutting machine falling out of my hand, that was something. And I also dropped one of my black ink pads. My goodness, always something, always something. All right, so we're just going to kind of go in and blend over this. Well, hello, Melanie. Thank you for being here. Melanie is one of the few people who have had the opportunity to actually be in my studio, and Melanie is a dear friend from college. And we've paper crafted a little bit together. That's not what our friendship was formed on, but just a happy sort of commonality we found along the way. So thank you for being here, Melanie. All right, so we've got our little images all layered up. So let's start assembling. I'm going to take this all off and put them in order. All right. Now, like I said, this is the newest die that's part of Altenew's Craft a Flower collection. There are so many wonderful flowers that I just know people, you have your favorite, you will find one. There's a new one that's coming out next week because Altenew has their new release on the way. So definitely keep an eye on that. But we're going to go in and we're going to put together our second round. Actually, okay, we were just talking about Japan. Melanie was with me when we just went to Japan. So I was talking, Melanie, about how I want to go back in like an April month so that we can see the cherry blossoms, but that we did so much on our last trip. So much. Melanie and I got to experience Tokyo Disneyland for the first time together, and it was wonderful. Core memory. All right, so we're just kind of layering all of this. Just going in order for all of these layers. All right. Layer number 4, just like that. Layer number 5. See, Melanie's someone with watching that she'll just be like, well, I'll just wait until I see you next, then I can craft with this. She would, of course, be welcome to. All right, so we've got 6. Now we're going to do our next layer, which is 7, which is just going to be a solid pink piece. All right. Just like that. All right, and then we're just going to start layering on top. Let's see how this one's going to look. Just like that. Just kind of layer the shapes nicely. Awesome. And then the last one, we're going to layer this last little piece, and we're going to do some ink blending with leaves. So we have those available for our use as well. Just kind of go in and pop it just like that. So beautiful. Look at these. I am just, oh, I'm in love with how these look. They are so pretty. So we're going to use these both for our card. I'm going to toss that. I don't need that right now. And I'm also going to put away these this one little die so that I don't lose it. All right. Put that right there and then put this away. So we're going to put our flowers to the side, and I'm going to bring back out my stamp wheel, and we're just going to clean it real quick. And then we're going to do some ink blending with some leaves. Hello, Cordelia. Yay, you just got it. That is so exciting. So yes, you're going to take it out of your package. We're going to have some great inspiration. How do you know the order to glue in? So Melanie, with these dies, what's really nice about them is when they die cut, they actually have numbers etched in them that count from like 1, 2, 3. And so 1 is always the base layer. And then you go 2, 3, 4. So you just kind of keep layering it according to the numbers. They also include the instructions about the layering, about how everything should be layered as well, in case you want to look at something more visual. And also what's really nice is that when you die cut all of these, Altenew has the dies segmented per flower. So this is going to die cut one full flower, and then this is the center portion. This is the second smaller flower and the center portion, and then they have leaves that you can add to it. So it really makes it easy to create this. Oh, thank you so much for your kind words about the shading. So we're going to go in. This is grass green cardstock that I'm going to die cut. Just that I have die cut with these leaves, and then we're going to do a little bit of shading. So just a little bit of that. Lay everything out. Maybe space this just a little bit. But I love using this grid mat that's included as part of the stamp wheel because it holds these smaller dies nicely into place and just makes it super easy. I'm just going to kind of spread it out because I'm somebody that when I ink blend, I sometimes have the problem of like going into other images. So I just want to make sure everything has a nice amount of space. So we're going to go in. This is Shadow Creek Fresh Dye ink. And we're just going to add some shading. Just sort of play around, add where you think there'd be shadow in, get a nice variance of color going. I just love this. I really feel like this just totally transforms these die cuts and makes them more fun to work with. And this part doesn't really take that long to add all of this. Especially when you're just doing colored cardstock with a color of dye ink. That's one of my favorite hacks, is to use dye inks on colored cardstocks just to sort of build up that shadow with them. Just like that. All right, just kind of go in, ink blend, just like that. And also too, if you build up a little bit too much ink, you can kind of blend it out to make it look a little bit less bold. We're not really going for less bold today, but that's okay. All right, we're just going to kind of keep adding. Smooth that out a little bit. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, so now we've got all of these flowers ready to get popped on. So now let's go ahead and remove them. Perfect. And we're going to come back to our little die cuts in a little bit because now I want to do a little bit of letterpress with the Betterpress system. And it's going to be really easy, and I'm realizing I got to get my tape. I could probably use my mint tape now that I think about it. So we're going to do just a little bit of cleanup. I always like to clean up along the way just because it allows me to sort of keep track of where we're at. And then when I come back to it later, it's not super messy. So I'm going to put my cover, I'm going to put this over. Just make sure it's the right side. I might swap this out for a clear piece of acetate at some point in the future. Now, one thing I do want to show you guys is that they do have the wheel. And what I've gone ahead and done is I've actually added dots. These are just enamel dots from my stash to each of the like main directions. So it'd be like the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. And that way, because you can take this tool and you can like twist it, it kind of always reminds me of where it was to begin with. So that's also a really great thing to do with your stamp wheel. But I think I can put this away. I don't think I need it again. If I do, it's off to the side and easy to grab. See, this is why I shouldn't let friends in my studio. If it's on the floor, nobody sees the floor on camera, Melanie. Gee whiz. All right, no, the floor's it's a mess right now. Anyways, so let's go in. Let's do a little bit of Betterpress letter pressing. So what we're gonna do is I have the Stonewall press plate. It's beautiful. It's gonna give this really fun sort of faux wall effect for our background, and I'm so excited to use this with y'all today. So what we're gonna do, I have never used my Betterpress on camera before. And it's really easy. It's not like, it is very special in terms of what it is. However, it's a very interesting and easy tool to do. All right, C9 enamel dots for the win. Oh, I love Concord and Ninth Barbara. Good taste there. Oh, so all right, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna just use the magnetic platform and get that nicely into place. And we're going to put that off to the side. Now I'm going to take a little bit of mint tape. Let's see. It's going to go on the back side. And this is just how Justin does it. I know that there are other ways to do it, but I just like, because you can go larger and use the Spellbinder's tape, the yellow tape that comes with it. Justin is not doing that today, and that's okay. I ran a test already, and it looked fine. Nancy loves Melanie. See? Now Melanie's going to want to tune in and bust my chops on future live streams. Oh my goodness. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, y'all. All right, there we go. So I'm just going to kind of pop that on. And then for our background, I am going to use some melted Butterscotch fresh dye ink. Justin's floor is flawless. Oh my gosh, Florina. It really isn't, but thank you for coming to my rescue. All right, I'm waiting for one of the wheels to be on sale from Altenew. Well, you never know. You never know when they qualify for a sale. So we're going to take our melted butterscotch, and I'm just going to kind of rub it onto our press plate. Now, I know that with these press plates and the Betterpress system, there are special inks that are designed for the Betterpress. You can use these as well. They work fine. I've used them before. I don't use my Betterpress too often, but I think I'm going to get into it because I actually have some Betterpress plates in my cart that I'm really excited to get at some point soon. There's a bundle right now on the Altenew website for like 3 of them for less than $40. It's like $37 or $39, which is a great deal. So I want to get those sometime soon. But you can use your regular dye inks on this, no problem. And just make sure you get nice coverage, just like that. All right, a little bit over there. Just like this. There we go. Oh my goodness, you guys are something. Y'all are something. All right, so we're going to go in, just do a little bit of cleanup right there. And then because this is a magnet system, I am going to line this up like this. The magnets will lock this into place. Holding this is Creamsicle cardstock, also from Concord and 9. So Barbara, like I said, you have great taste. And then we're gonna grab our die cutting machine. This works, I believe it works. It's a Spellbinder's product, so obviously it works with the Platinum 6, which is what I use it with. I don't know what other die cut systems it works with. Is this not positioned correctly? It looks like it's not. Hold on. Can I fix it? Nope. We're just going to go with it as it is. It's just off a little bit, and I'm sure that's a Justin problem. What else is new? It really is a good color. I agree. So I'm going to pop this off. And look at this. Isn't this pretty? It did get a little bit on top that I didn't get fully. And I'm just wondering, where did I put my one that I tested? I don't know where I put my test panel. Is it in iReach? Yes, it is. So we're going to kind of swap this out for the one that I did my test with, and just because it went a little bit further. But as you can see, you want to make sure everything is lined up. This one went just a little bit further, so we're going to be using that one. But I'm going to save this and keep it in my stash for later. I think that's a good reason to keep it. So we're going to go ahead, put that off to the side. And even though Melanie disagrees that my floor doesn't follow suit, do a little bit of cleanup to make sure everything is ready to go. All right, so let's just wipe this off. And this just makes it easy to go back and put away and not worry about having an inky mess that I accidentally put my hand or a project in later. All right. And so this is the Stonewall press plate. You're blowing my mind with this technique. Melanie, come over, we'll play. I'll show you all the things. We haven't had a crafty play date in a while. I know, you guys, anyone in the Chicago area, I've thought about maybe doing like a crafty meetup of sorts. Not necessarily like a retreat, but just maybe like, just for all of us to get together and craft a little bit. And maybe I could bring some of my things and do a live stream, but do it with everybody, just like there, and not necessarily, like I said, not necessarily like a retreat, but just like being able to see everybody. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, so we've got our background. I know I swapped it out for my test one, but they're very similar with that melted butterscotch ink on top of creamsicle paper. This one just didn't go down about 1/8 of an inch too far, so I'm opting to use my other one. But it's beautiful. I love how this ink looks on this paper, and I know that this flower is just really gonna pop, especially with all of these green leaves. So what we're going to do next is I've got a new-ish product that I'm going to use, and that is the Pink and Main Paint and Splatter, and this is in gold. So I'm going to take my flowers, and we're going to cover them so we don't have a problem. I'm going to shake this. You will fly there. Oh, Nancy, that's so sweet. Oh, it works with the intracut. That's really good to know because I have an intracut. So, yay, yay, yay. All right, so we're just going to go and we're going to splatter some of this gold paint and splatter. I feel like I could shake it a little bit better. Well, that could have been a huge mess. Oh, thank you so much, Barbara. They really are pretty. All right. Just going to go in and just sort of splatter. And this is going to give our card just a really pretty extra shine. I know it's not centered on camera, and that's okay. All right, there we go. Let's try to bring this a little closer to the camera. You can really see the gold splatter and see how it'll have to dry, but when it catches the light, it's going to add that gold metallic sort of spritz to it. So we'll let it dry off to the side. So I'm going to put my flowers back in here. And now I've just got to do our sentiment. And if you checked the comments, hello, Pamela. Thanks for being here. I'm pulling in the newer die set called Stylish Greetings. I love the Altenew word dies. I'm always a sucker for when they come out. I feel like I have like I have at least 6 or 7 that I pull from regularly. There's a collection called the Versatile Greetings. Those are the words, the shadows, and then you can also buy the hot foil plate add-ons. So many fun options with Altenew sentiment dies. But the Stylish Greetings, we are going to use the one that just says love you. And let me go ahead and grab that. That's another tray. So we're going to go in. I did the shadow kind of in a persimmon cardstock. I'm going to be honest. I could not find what the color of this cardstock is. I feel like that's a no-no as like a live stream crafter. Is like I should know the name of all of my cardstock. But this is very much like a darker like persimmon color. And I just really like how it looked. So I decided to pull that. And then I have the Sentiment Love You that I've die cut from some white cardstock. And that's going to really pop nicely onto our card. And I'm afraid of using these tweezers because I use them to pull like an inky fuzzy bit off of my press plate. Anyways, there we go. And so we're just going to kind of get this into place really easily. All right, so we're going to use our liquid adhesive. That's not coming out. There we go. I just need to squeeze harder. So we're just going to kind of go in with that liquid adhesive. Now, one thing that you can do if you want to build some dimension is that you can actually stack this sentiment. And what stacking means, if you haven't come across it or done it yourself already, is taking a die cut, and instead of using foam tape for dimension, you can die cut it multiple times and then adhere the layers directly on top of each other so that it builds dimension without the use of a foam tape. You're just adding layers, so adding that dimension to it. I feel like I'm saying dimension way too many times. Say dimension one more time, Justin. All right, so we're going to go in and add it. Just like this. Just like bump it into place. Oh, I gotta bump that out just a little bit. I like using liquid adhesive because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room that I don't have to like 100% to commit to the exact location I drop it into. It gives me just a couple extra seconds that I can kind of nudge it into place. All right, so I'm going in. All right. I thought, so looking back at my comments, Nancy, I agree. I think that melted butterscotch looks so good on top of the creamsicle paper, especially in that pattern too. All right, so my fears were slightly correct. I did get a little bit of ink onto my white letters, so I'm just gonna take a white gel pen and just sort of easily touch this up. And that should, it's very little and I should be able to do it very simply. And the only people who are going to know I did it are you guys because you're here watching me do it. So that's okay. All right, so I've got this. So we've got our sentiment. Now, I do think we're at a part where we need to start kind of assembling everything together. And in order to do that, I do need my background to be fully dry, and it's not. So let's grab my heated tool and just sort of begin to let that set. Now, my rule of thumb when it comes to splatters, I like it all to dry naturally. I don't like to usually use a heat tool to it because I feel like the heating can sometimes just take a little bit of that natural vibrancy out of it. However, when we do a live stream, if I don't give things ample amount of time to dry, I would rather work with something dry than smear it. So I hope that helps. Ooh, we got Barbara and Pamela maybe close by. That's exciting. The white gel pen is the best trick you ever taught me. Well, you're welcome. It's the best trick I feel like I've ever been told too. It's one of the best. Get y'all a good collection of white gel pen. I use the number 10 Sakura white jelly rolls, and I'm very happy with them. All right, we've got that dry. Now let's bring this a little closer so y'all can see those metallic splatters. See how they really sort of add some fun detail to the card? I like how that looks. I think that's perfect. And you can really splatter with whatever you want. I think that bronze could be a really pretty splatter for this. You can also splatter in a way if you want to splatter like onto the flower with different inks. You could take that melted butterscotch and splatter in that color. What's kind of nice about this Stonewall Betterpress plate is there's already some specs that are kind of built in. So I thought that I wanted to do a different color. You could splatter with white. White would work too. Whatever you feel would be the best. So it's your creation. You do what you want with it. So, all right. So we're going to go in and start adding all of our little elements together. Let's see. How do we want this? So it kind of looks like this is sort of the way to do it on the packaging. And then you just sort of add whatever leaves that you want wherever you want. Actually, this is looking really good. Too bad I didn't put liquid adhesive on it, right? So I'm just going to kind of go in, map this out, and then we're going to do our love you sentiment, maybe like right there. I don't want it to take up too much of the flower or cover too much of it. So I think that's going to be very appropriate. So maybe we'll bring that up just a little bit. I can put that there and put it. Okay, we're good. I'm just sitting here talking. All right. So let's go in and start adding our flowers in. Use your white gel pen regularly for the best results. Otherwise, it dries out. Barbara, that is so right. Treat your gel pens with love and respect and use them regularly. I agree. So we're going to go in and start putting this down. All right. So we're just going to kind of like that. Just kind of making sure it's exactly how I want it. If it goes out a little bit like that. Add a little bit more. Oh, I didn't put my phone up. Should probably make sure we're good. And we are. Yay! All right. Recently, oh my goodness. So I have been getting in this organizing habit with my crafting collection, and I've been buying products to organize my brushes and my ink pads. And the company that I've been buying from has like a cell phone holder. And I'm like, oh, you know what? Like when I do live streams, it'd be a really good idea to like put my cell phone on a special holder so that I can like watch it if anything important comes. Nothing important is going to come through on a live stream. I don't know why I was thinking this. And and so I've been using this holder for the last couple lives, and I put my cell phone on it. And as I'm like doing a live, like my phone will light up, and I'm like, Justin, you should not be watching this. But I'm also always paranoid that I'm gonna like get a message. It's like, Justin, they can't hear you. Like, or like, Justin, there's a problem. And it's like, well, so I still have anxiety. All right, so we're gonna go in and add this. So anyways, love my organization products. Don't know if a cell phone holder was really necessary. But here we are. All right, so we're just going to kind of keep going. We'll add that one just as I'm mapping it all out. Oh, this is turning so pretty. And I do have one last way that I want to show everybody about like kind of making your flowers really bold and pop. And we'll get there in a second. Let's see. Can I do one like right down there? Oh, absolutely. All right. Oh, you are all so sweet. Thank you so much for all of your kind words. It's really an absolutely stunning die set. I'm so excited that I'm using this with everyone to show you one of my favorite craft-a-flowers, really and truly. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of keep going. Let's see, and then maybe we'll do a little one down here. All right, I think that might be the last one. I don't need to use all of them. I just wanted to have options. That's what I like, is options. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to go in. We're going to put liquid adhesive. Now, because I only adhered in the center, this has a lot of room to for movement, which is okay. You can add as much or as little adhesive as you want. I'm okay with the amount that I used, but just keep that in mind. So as I go ahead and get this base layer all adhered, we are going to just kind of make sure that this is in the correct. Oh, this is so pretty. I love this. And if it overlaps off the paper a little bit, that's also totally fine. Do we need one leaf up here? Why not? I mean, you can add leaves, as many leaves as you want, Justin. All right, we'll do one right there. We're getting there. Just stunning. And I love how bold these colors are. I love the ink blending that we did. I think that it makes it pop so nicely. Just very happy with all of the choices we made together today. All right. Layer it like that. There we go. Just kind of got to feel out where you want it to go, right? All right, so we do our liquid adhesive on the back. And then kind of layer it like that. Oh, how fun. Okay, so we've got that. I don't think I want to use this last flower, and or this last leaf, and that's okay. All right, so we're gonna go in, and now we've got to add this Love You. This is so pretty. I love this. All right, let's gonna use our 3mm foam strips. Hello, Wanda. Thank you so much for just catching me. Yep, the live stream, of course, will be ready for you later. I hope you love it, and just thanks for catching me now. All Oh, these. Now see my phone vibrating. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. All right. So I'm using some 3mm foam strips. And we're just going to kind of pop our sentiment. Just sort of nicely right there. You guys, this is so pretty. I love this. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to show you guys to really make your projects pop. We're going to use some crystal clear enamel dots, and this product is a must. For anybody who loves... We've got Kathy Z here. My goodness. Hello, Kathy. I feel like just I'm speechless. We'll go there. So we're going to go in, we're going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive to the back of our card, or to our card base, and we're going to get our card nice and propped on there. I've been watching Kathy's Wednesday live streams, part of my lunch breaks, and it's been so much wonderful, just like midday break entertainment while I'm eating my lunch. So thank you for being here, Kathy. Oh, you're so sweet. So all right, so we've got our card on, and then I like to do my embellishments last. And the reason why I love these crystal clear enamel dots is because they perfectly act like dewdrops on these flowers, and I feel like it gives them such a natural look. So I really enjoy using them for that little bit of extra pop. So we're just going to kind of go in and do that. All right. Oh, you guys are all so very sweet. Thank you all so much. All right, and we're going to go and just keep on adding. I like to work in odd numbers, of course, when it comes to our embellishments. Just add a little bit more. Trying not to overdo it, but I also love these, so I feel like you can't really overdo it too much, especially when they're clear. All right, there we go. Just to add a little bit of natural feeling to these florals, and I think we're all done. Oh my goodness, everybody. Isn't this pretty? You don't have those dots, Kathy. They are a must-have. And I love that it's like you can kind of go a little overboard with them. However, you don't really see them as much. They're not as striking as a solid color, so it's like you get a pass with them. So, all right. Definitely you do love the... That is hysterical. I do love a good pun. Y'all, we are all finished with today's card. And listen, we have only been together an hour and 10 minutes. And for me, for a live, that is pretty awesome, because some of my lives have been going a little bit extra long recently. So I hope this shows you that even though that the Craft of Flowers dice series from Altenew, they might look very intricate and detailed, but you can put them together so quickly. We ink blended, we layered, we even got some good letterpress, better pressing in. Better pressing, letter pressing, we can call it whatever. Better letter pressing, there we go. Whatever you want, you call it whatever works. We use some amazing Altenew fresh dye inks to put this all together, and this just really, really popped, and I love how this looks. So don't forget, this is the Grand Dahlia Craft a Flower die set from Altenew, and I do have that special promotion for 10% off right now using code JustinFlower. I've got it linked in the description. There's also, I've got the supply list pinned to our chat as well for y'all to check out, so make sure that you do that. Now, I also wanted to show everyone a second card I made for Altenew this week, using a totally different set, and I did share this on my channel earlier or on my Instagram and blog earlier in the week. I do have this card that I used the Tasty Treasures bundle on, and I believe this one I also had another offer. Now you can't combine offers, but if you are not a floral person and you stuck here with me, my goodness, you are absolutely wonderful, and I appreciate you. However, I do have a bundle for 40% bundle promo code for 40% off the Tasty Treasures set as well. Let me get that code for you if maybe this is more of your jam, because I think that this is just so darn cute. I do have on my blog, it's 45% off. It does expire today. I can go in though, and let me see. I can see about getting that added to the chat later. But this is another card. These are my 2 Altenew cards for the week. Love how they turned out. And thank you all so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and flip back over to my face. And there we go. All right. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. It has been such a lovely time crafting. I just think this card is beautiful. And whoever gets it is going to be so happy. I feel like I've got to save this for either my mom or my mother-in-law, because I know that they love their flowers. So who knows? Usually with me and my husband, the cards that we give each other usually aren't like flowers, so I probably won't go to him. But anyways, hey, maybe in the future we'll do a live stream about using florals and making like a masculine card that they work. You never know. So thank you everybody for stopping by. So many friends, so many new faces. Of course, thanks to my friend Melanie for stopping by. Oh my goodness, she brings such a smile to my face. And then Kathy stopped by too. And Kathy, you are wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to Barbara, and we've got T and Lena, Denise, we've got Nancy, all friends. And if I didn't list you by name, just know I'm grateful and happy that everybody was here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get this live. We're going to close it out. I will be back next week at our normal time. We're going to be playing with a new release. I don't know if I can, I feel like I could, but you'll see closer to. Next week, Saturday, 1 p.m., playing with a brand new release from one of my other favorite companies, and I'm so excited to get crafty with everybody once again. So thank you so much for being here. Like I said earlier, thank you to everyone who helped me achieve getting monetized this week. Big deal to me, and I'm so very grateful that you were here for that, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you all very soon, and thanks for stopping by. Have a crafty weekend, everybody. Goodbye.